All right, folks, season 2 and episode 13. When I thought about setting up this, I was like, oh my God, episode 13 here, season 2. It's an unlucky number for some. Um, a season of youth, I think, but because we did transfer some wingers out, we got some young players on the wing. Some are excelling, like Martinelli and Saka, but they're not consistent. But first of all, wanted to say this is our 1 year anniversary, and we're bringing all of the folks who have been on the channel throughout the year. And Richard, you've been an integral part of the channel, so welcome in, Richard.
Yeah, welcome, and thank you for inviting me on your 1 year anniversary, and congratulations on getting 162 subscribers within the first year. Absolutely fantastic.
162, not bad, not bad. We'll take it. Um, I wish it was under better circumstances, Richard. Manchester
Yeah,
City tonight.
I wish it was under better circumstances tonight as well. But these players, they just didn't. The only player I feel sorry for tonight was Bert Leno.
Yeah, some world class saves. We
Yeah.
need. I think of at least two. We could have lost 5-0.
I think that one way De Bruyne actually took a curling shot, and Burnley pulled off like
Yep.
a superb save, world class save. Other than that, that would have gone in, and they would have added and added. We could have been on the end of an absolute battering tonight.
Yeah,
How on
and
earth
I honestly think for tonight's game, I didn't see no fight, I didn't see no passion, I didn't see no
no,
structure,
nothing.
nothing. The performance tonight was absolute pathetic. And
Period.
do you know what? To be honest, the defense that is in front of Bernd Leno, if it wasn't for Leno, we would have been 20th in the league.
Yeah, you were talking a little bit about Leno before we came on, Richard. He's
Yeah,
definitely
I
one of
mean,
the highlights of the season.
yeah. If anything, I think he's been our standout player this season. In terms of Aubameyang when he has turned up. But I think that Bernd Leno, the amount of saves he's saved this season is unbelievable. I think
Unbelievable.
he's made over 60 saves, more than any other Premier League goalkeeper this season. And if you're looking at that stat, it proves where our issues are lying, and it's in line our defence because they're not protecting him enough.
No,
Not
not
at
at all.
all. Never mind enough. Not at all. I
Mm.
mean, there's no Richard, like we discussed even before the stream. Absolutely putrid performance with all the players. Everybody's getting roasted tonight. Every one of them. Even
Yeah.
Aubameyang. Even Aubameyang. I mean, there was no fight. Absolutely no fight. And
Yeah.
this is the reason why you'll see Ray a little bit calmer, but Richard and I are absolutely fuming. We have had enough of this week in, week out, no fight. That win against West Ham, guess what, guys? Papering over the cracks because we need an entire new defense in the next transfer window. Somebody like Koulibaly, if we have to go spend 100 mil there, go spend 100 mil there. We need we need another right back. We need another left back. I mean, nobody's safe in the squad. Richard and I just said now before Ray came, nobody is safe. You have to fight for your position. And if you don't want to be at our club and you don't want to fight for our badge, don't be in our club. Leave. Leave and go put somewhere else where you can fiddle and play with yourself, as per se.
How do I follow up on that one? Richard, the board has to act now, both in a coach, naming a coach, bringing a coach in, and we lost another fullback. We need cover for the cover.
Well, at this precise moment in time, I think Pochettino is the right man to bring in at this moment in time. But I just think that whoever comes in, these players, this defense is not coachable. Whoever comes in, it's going to be a tough job to get us out of the mess that we're already in. But if the board are not going to back the manager, what can he do?
Yeah, I think Lee Dixon said it on my coverage that I was watching. This is a number of years of decay within the club. Arsene Wenger should have left a few years before he did, and the rot has set in, and now we're at a situation where this is our first team that we put out today, and it's still not good enough. We have no strength and depth in this squad, and we need serious investment in January.
We do, but if we really want to sort this team out, we're probably looking over 200, 300 million pounds to get it sorted. That's
Which
the way.
is not going to happen.
If you really want decent players that are going to show the fight, that are more physical players, if we have to, why don't we go and get players from the Championship League, because they will show some fight, they will show the physicality for the game. Why not?
Mahir, the club has passed on players that we could have picked up. Players like Johnny Evans, players like a Sayonku. There's other names out there, Richard, but the club really should have acted on those players. And look at Leicester; they're doing okay with Johnny Evans.
Well, to be honest, I think us fans, I think we underestimated them. That's what I think. I think we underestimated. We thought, oh, well, do you know what? The players that we've got are full internationals. Why would we want a player like that? But at least at Leicester, he's doing the business. He's doing what he has to do. But I think in terms of the management issue, Arsene Wenger should have left after the whole City FA Cup final. That's when he should have left. The board should have acted and getting a new manager. Yeah, the board should have acted of getting a new manager in after the Leicester game. That's when it should have been done.
Yeah. This season.
Yeah, but what they've done, they've left it too late. And the longer they leave it, the worse it's going to get. Mm-hmm. Now, I said ages ago when I heard that Stan Kroenke was coming into the club and he was taking over Arsenal, I thought, that's it. It's going to be in time. We're going to come out of the Champions League, and before you know it, we'll be even worse than it already is. And for us, how long has it been since we ain't been in the Champions League?
3 seasons.
Exactly. So what I've said about that is coming true. We're already out of the Champions League. If we come out of Europa League next season and we don't qualify for it, I'm not going to moan and bitch about it, because at the moment, the way we're playing, we are not playing like a European side. If anything, we're more or less a championship side. We're playing like Leeds.
Yeah. It could even be better than this. What I was thinking, guys, they discussed before our season started, a lot of podcasts were discussing, even we were discussing amongst ourselves, maybe it would be better not to be in a Europa or any European leagues, European cups, because we're just not good enough. We're just not good enough. If we were in Champions League, right, do you guys not think we'd be getting thrashings? Like, I'm talking thrashings by most of the teams.
Yeah.
If we can't do it against
Bayern,
if we can't do this against exactly but like aside from the top teams, I'm not talking about the elite. I'm talking about like Genk, like Napoli, like AC Milan, like Atletico Madrid. Playing against any of those teams, you could say we're not even better than the championships. We're a championship side right now, Richard. We're championship side, right? How? If we were in Champions League, would it? I'm telling you, we'd be getting thrashings right around the board from those teams.
Well, right now we're in 10th place, Richard. Right now,
performances are gone.
Well, if we're in 10th place, the table doesn't lie. It proves that we are not performing, and we're not going to reach our goals. We're not going to reach. We're not going to reach top 4, because the less wins that we are going to have, and we keep losing and drawing, it's not going to help us.
And I don't know the advantage, actually, because Chelsea lost yesterday. Tottenham nearly lost today as well, if it wasn't for last minute or something along those lines. Not saying that we should rely on them to lose. We should do what we have to do, first of all, by any means necessary. But we're not doing anything like that. We're not doing anything like that. Right now, we're all the whole team is bottle jobs. All of them. We said we were just saying now. We said Johnny Evans wasn't good enough. It's Man United scraps. We said Brendan Rodgers not a good enough coach. Why the hell would we want him? He's only been at Celtic and he failed
At
when he
Liverpool.
was at Liverpool. Um, but they were close. And look what that. So Yunchu, not good enough. Johnny Evans, not good enough. Brendan Rodgers, not good enough. That's two defenders and a manager. And look what they're doing at Leicester
Did we
City.
also? If I'm not mistaken, we missed out on even getting Jamie Vardy as well
Yeah,
because of his stuck up wife didn't want to move.
yeah.
Is that the reason? In 2016.
And then if because like what it was that Jamie Vardy signed like he wanted to join at that particular time. He wanted to join Arsenal, but his wife didn't want to move away from Leicester, so that's why he decided to stay at Leicester instead.
But like we dilly dally on so many things and we just lose out every single time. Lose out and we sell our star players to rival clubs and they go over and win Premier League and even Champions League titles with the team that they join. I mean, it's crazy right now. I don't know. I don't even know what to think. I mean, I haven't worn my jersey, guys, in maybe a few weeks because I can't. I can't be seen in the jersey because the minute
Richard,
guys are just bent.
when you see an appointment, we have 6 days to our next game. Do you see something happening this week, Richard?
I hope so. I think this would be another good time to appoint the manager.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Arsenal were saying that they wasn't going to announce anything yet, but I think they have got a manager in line, but they didn't want to bring him in before the Man City game. That's what I heard, but I don't know whether that's true or not.
I seriously hope so that we do have somebody lined up, ready to come in. Because if we don't, that's just another sign that this board is incompetent.
Ray, a proper coach, though. A proper coach. We're not talking about some of these names that we've been linked to. I'm hearing Marcelino. I'm hearing this other guy. I can't even pronounce his name. Like I don't know. I don't know if he's Swedish or no. I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody. I'm just like
I haven't heard any of those names.
Never heard of him. Even Marcelino, I haven't heard up until now. I heard like
if I'm not mistaken, didn't Marcelino manage Valencia at one point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he actually
didn't do too bad at Valencia that season, apart from us getting, for us beating them in the semi-final of the Europa.
Yeah, and he plays 4-4-2, Richard.
See, do you know what? That's no. Do you know what, my head? Do you know what? The only thing is playing 4-4-2. That's basic Arsenal formation. That's what we used to play with when we was, under Wenger. When we was at Highbury, we played with a 4-4-2 formation. You had Dennis Bergkamp as a number 10 playing alongside the striker, but he was a little bit more further back.
Mm-hmm.
He did at that point. He didn't play with two main strikers. What he done, he had a striker and a number 10 just behind with Dennis Bergkamp. Then you had the two wingers either side, the two defensive midfielders in the middle, and then we had the back line.
Yeah, exactly. But where's your confidence in the board? Do you feel confident that the board have selected the right person, Mahir?
No. Why should I? Why should I with all the appointments?
Do you think it's going to be a Vieira or an Arteta? That's something you're not wanting.
Please do not make the mistake of appointing a former player. Do not make the mistake. Yes, Arteta is... I don't want to use the word. There's a B word. It's a vulgar word. But they basically say, They basically say Arteta is Guardiola's, okay. But Arteta hasn't had any experience managing any team at all. Vieira, no. I don't want Arteta. I don't want Henry. Because, Richard, I don't know, how do you feel? Do you feel that a team like this could ruin a legend's legacy by not playing? I mean, even for us, do you feel that, or is being a player separate, being a former player separate to being a manager in today's time?
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. Do you think that tarnishes somebody's reputation, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? His playing reputation, he won the Champions League.
I think it would ruin the player's legacy in terms of at the moment the way Freddie is. But if you look at the likes of Mikel Arteta, for instance, yes, he hasn't got first team, experience in him being an actual manager. But he was with a team as an assistant coach that just battered us 3-0 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why? Why would you go to the team that you just battered?
Exactly. So the only thing is what Pep Guardiola will say to him, you want to leave there? You want to leave this for that?
Yeah.
Once you're
He
gone,
might have
you're
been
gone.
saying that in game. Yeah.
So I think that it would ruin. I don't want Arsenal to do the same mistake what Man United done. I really don't want them to do that. I want Arsenal to take time into finding the right manager to bring in, because it is an important job now for whoever comes in. Because you're not just going to try and get us into top 4, which is going to be very, very difficult to do in the amount of games we've got coming up. But you're also going to try and stay out of relegation.
Yeah.
So whoever comes in, it is going to be a tough job. And this is why I don't want Arsenal to make the same mistake like Man United done. Because what Man United done, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had a great run when he started. He was getting wins here and there. But as soon as it started to dip, the fans got on his back. And what Man United done, they said, right, do you know what? You're doing well. We'll give you the 2-year contract. And look what happened.
Yeah.
I don't want that same mistake. I don't want that same mistake.
I don't think they'd be so stupid, because that's like having no brain if you allow the same thing to happen to one of our beloved legends, which is Freddie. And personally, that's what I'm saying. No former players. I want an elite manager, somebody that's going to change things drastically, even if he has to chuck a lot of the team. Like, say, for example, you're looking at your back line and chuck all of our defenders out to buy 4 brand new defenders that he wants, that he knows will get the job done, that he knows that will play for the badge. If that needs to happen, that needs to happen, because there's Allegri right now. There is Ancelotti, right?
Yeah.
There is
Pochettino. Pochettino's in the background.
One person that I would have loved, that would have probably kicked everybody's ass on the pitch, would have been Diego Simeone. I think Diego Simeone would have been like, he would have literally put a boot up each person's backside. Like, if you're not playing or even performing, I think he'd sell you the very next game. He looks like just that type of person. And not bench you, he'd sell you. I think he would kick ass. Other names, I mean, I'm not convinced on some of the names that we've been linked to, but Allegri is personally also my top.
Well, I know. I think Patrick Vieira has been linked with the move to Arsenal as well. And who else has been linked? I think there is. I think in total, I think there's about 10. I think it's about 10 or 12 managers that's been linked. Yeah.
Nuno Espirito Santo. A few others.
But my head. The only thing is, why would he want to leave Wolves to come to us?
There's nobody.
Why?
They were saying. I mean, if they wanted to make a move for example, for Brendan Rodgers, 2-3 weeks ago before he signed his new contract, it would have taken 15 mil. So you telling me you seeing Emery failing miserably after the Crystal Palace game, and you keeping him and keeping him and keeping him and keeping him, and eventually, guess what? Brendan Rodgers signed a new contract, which means we can't. That's another manager that's gone out the window. That's no longer an option. I mean, 15 million. Seriously, if you were a top club and you really wanted a manager to take over immediately like that, you can go and say, "Yes, 20 mil." Done and dusted.
To your point, Richard, it's becoming more and more difficult for Raul to sell the club to a new coach.
Yeah, exactly.
It's becoming a very
and Ray, do you know what? It's because of the way our performances have been. It's the way our players have been playing. I can't name a single one of our players that will get into our invincible side.
None at all.
None of them.
None of them at all.
Maybe Martinelli, but that's a stretch. Our invincible side were something else, and You know, maybe we were raised on really, really good football. We've had the best that we can have, and what's left now, Richard? How can Raul sell this club to a new coach, other than a coach who's really, really attracted by a project of turning dirt into gold? Because that's really what it is. We are mucked right now.
Ray, I think you've done it straight. You've just put it pretty much bluntly. I can't think of any manager that would want to come to Arsenal in the position that we are in now. I honestly can't think of anyone. I reckon if Pochettino looks at Arsenal now, he's going to think, do I seriously want to go to that?
His motivation would be to to get one over on.
Do you know what? He would say, "Well, I left Tottenham for a reason. I want to go and win. I want to go and win the Premier League." Goes with Arsenal. Can you just imagine if he actually came in and we end up going to win the league the next season?
Yeah. Well, that would be a quick turnaround.
That would be a very, very quick turnaround. But what I admire about Pochettino, he took Tottenham to a Champions League final without buying anyone in the transfer window.
Yeah.
So it proves what he could do with Arsenal. Proves what he could do with us.
Richard, they didn't back him at the same time, right? So it could be a one-up on them as well. I mean, just imagine he comes to us and he's actually backed to buy the players that he needs and wins us the Premier League title after being at Tottenham for so long, being at our Tottenham roles for so long.
It would need serious investment. Richard, Josh Kroenke, his reputation is on the line this January.
Yeah, it is. I know he's saying that we are going to be proactive in terms of like we was in the summer. I'm hoping we are, because we need players to come in. We need it.
Because now
it's our defense that we mainly need. We need another centre half, maybe two. Because I think Rob Holding is back into training next week, I believe it is. So he's not going to be.
Do we need him back?
Game. Yeah, and obviously Bellerin. I don't think his is long term. I think it's more or less short term at the moment. But Tierney's out for 3 months, and I don't know what the circumstances on Koshnik at the minute. I don't know what the circumstances on. Yeah, I don't know what the circumstances on with him at the minute. So our defense is the main problem that needs to be sorted, and they need to be drilled properly as well. Because who is coaching this defense? Who? I would like to know who it is.
Yeah, me too. Kolasinac was having a mare. 2 goals down after 15 minutes. You could point the finger at him, certainly at the second goal, not marking Sterling. But those goals, first of all, we got to applaud Kevin De Bruyne. He is probably the best player in the Premier League right now. 2 classy finishes from him. Mahir and I talked about the problems in Guendouzi's game, and that was showing up in the 3rd goal. He wasn't in position to be goal side of Kevin De Bruyne. No. At a time when we were a player down as well, Richard.
Do you know what? With Guendouzi, he has no defensive awareness. That's one thing he doesn't have. He doesn't have that defensive awareness like Lucas Torreira does.
Yep.
And the only thing is, like with Guendouzi, as soon as he receives the ball from the centre half, so what he does, he plays the ball one way, plays it in the next bit, and he's passing it back again.
Yeah.
There's no forward thinking. There's no forward thinking.
But it's really, really tough to ask so much of that young player. I know Alex has talked about Guendouzi with Ralph as well at length.
Yeah.
And is Guendouzi the player going forward for Arsenal?
In terms of if you need a defensive midfielder, for instance, then to play alongside Torreira, then Guendouzi, Xhaka, and Willock are not the answers. We need someone like a Wilfred Ndidi next to him.
Yeah.
Or Decore.
Yeah, or even a Decore.
What you saw today was Rodrigo and Fernandinho practicing the dark arts a little bit today. Niggly fouls, slowing Arsenal up until they got on top. and that was it. The game was over at that point.
They basically played the whole game possession. I don't know if you guys saw after 2 goals. It's like, here you go, here you go, here you go, sideways, backwards.
I didn't even see Man
Like-
City come out. I didn't even see Man City come out of second gear.
No,
No, they
they
played very much within themselves.
the game is done. They basically said the game is done. What we can just play around with the ball, make it seem like a training.
Yeah.
A training.
And you know what? It was tonight's game. It was more or less it was a training session for Man City. It really was, because there was no pressing from us. There was not that much pressing from forward, and obviously our midfield wasn't protecting our defense, and our defense wasn't protecting Lino.
So, Richard, I can definitely see Manchester City going on a run. They did this last year as well, and they caught Liverpool. I don't think they're going to do it this year, but they're going to go on a run.
In terms of Man City's run of form in the run of games at the minute they've got coming up, I reckon they could get quite a few points to try and catch Liverpool.
Yeah.
But with the amount of injuries that they've got at the moment, with is it Laporte that's injured for them? They've got they got Edison out injured. They've got
Mane.
Sadio Mane, and then Leroy Sané.
Sané.
They got Sané out injured. They got Aguero out injured. But did they in tonight's game? Did they look like that they needed them?
No. And I have notes here, and they are really, really devoid of goals coming from strikers. But if they're getting them from Sterling and getting them from De Bruyne, then they're going to tick along quite well.
Yeah.
And overcome. Gabriel Jesus is not the best striker for them, but they're going to get wins irrespective because of the firepower that they have in midfield.
Yep. And that's our problem. You know, I think that at the minute we're relying on the Aubameyang and Lacazette too much.
Yeah.
That's our problem. We're relying on them too much. And
there's
there's no one in midfield that can score any goals. I know Lucas Torreira scored a couple this season, but that's about it. No one else has really stepped up.
Yeah, there is no goals in our midfield. How many players, Matt here, how many players do you think should realistically are coming in January? 0, 1, 2? Knowing our club now.
3. Realistically, 3. Unrealistically, I need a whole back line. I need a whole back line. That's 2 centre backs, a right wing, right back, and a left back. That's about 4 on its own, just defense. I would even say, just bring in like. Look, I'm being very unrealistic, I know, guys, but I apologize once. But about 6 defenders. And then, like Richard just said, maybe somebody in the number 10 role. There's James Maddison. There's James Rodriguez. There's a few others. And maybe another attacker or another defensive mid to put alongside Granit Xhaka, somebody like the Corey or Ndidi, where they can basically destroy in the midfield. And Torreira can just be used.
I'm just thinking, like, if we need a midfielder, what about Todd Cantwell for Norwich?
Yeah, very good shout. That James Rowe actually.
He's young as well. Yeah, I was thinking, like, when I was watching the Norwich game and I was watching the way he was playing, and he was just tearing our defense apart in terms of finding little pocket spaces to get into.
You know what's the funny thing is? Smaller teams, no offense to them, but literally everybody that plays Arsenal, whether they're playing at home or they come to our home, which is supposedly the Emirates, they say to themselves, right, oh, we're playing Arsenal. We can tear the shreds.
They're rubbing their hands together a little bit, you know?
Together, basically having a campfire, rubbing their hands together with roasted marshmallows and saying, guys, please, listen here, here's 3 points. I mean, really.
Shout out to
Do you know
Alex from
what?
Cannon Fodder TV. Go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, no, I was actually going to say, if you look at the way our Invincibles was back in the day, when they was in the tunnel, the opposition knew that they was going to lose straight away before they even kicked the ball.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a
and then
brilliant
like, yeah, and then like if you look at it now, when they go into the tunnel, you see the smaller clubs, and they're going to say, yeah, we've got Arsenal. Yeah, 3 points is in the bag.
Yeah.
If we're lucky, we'll get a draw.
Yeah.
They're not
Nice.
scared anymore.
Shout out to Alex from Cannon Fodder TV.
Even now,
On his way home from work. So wish you a speedy and safe journey home, Alex.
Mm.
but I'm just thinking now, are we actually a big club anymore? I can't see it.
Richard, a few minutes ago, I wanted to ask you, what does Raul talk about when they get together tomorrow morning? Alarm bells have to be going off. Seriously, have to be going off.
For me, if I was in that position right now, what players are we going to get rid of in January? And my other question would be, we need to go and get a manager straight away. That would be the first thing I would actually go and do right now, is to go into line up the manager now within this week before our next game against Everton.
And Alex, Richard actually said that before I posted the comments. So, but our first priority here is to appoint a new manager first and foremost. We know the squad's not good enough. We have to get a manager or a coach in that's going to take a look at what we have and diagnose, like we're a sick patient. We need to be diagnosed, Mahir. What we need.
Yeah, we need to be diagnosed by a top doctor. We need to be diagnosed, as per se, a top doctor, or one that has loads of experience. Not loads even of experience in the Premier League. Why I mentioned Ancelotti is because he's one of those. Yes, the guy is 60 years old. Yeah, and as you guys say, he's a geezer. He's an old geezer, but nonetheless, he's won titles with Chelsea. He's won titles with Real Madrid.
I don't know. I think he might be past it myself with Ancelotti.
No, but what I'm saying is just as an example, I'm saying when it comes to whether or not he's experienced in the Premier League or not, but there have to be a top manager. Even I would personally, I would go right now and go get Pochettino.
Yeah.
Alex is saying Emery was not the problem. It's very possible Emery was not the problem. This is the squad that we have. And Don Juan.
He freezes out Ozil, right? Okay, rightly so, or unrightly so, or unjustly, right? But then again, later on, it's like, oh, I'm running short. I don't have any more players. Ozil, come, get in the squad.
I just don't think that he never connected with the fans or the supporters on a real level. And the clamor for Ozil to come back into the team was real. And he did that. So,
I think personally, I think for Emery to bring Ozil back in the side, it was because of the reaction when we lost Granit Xhaka. He thought, I now need to get these fans back on side. Oh, Ozil come in the squad.
Mm-hmm.
Richard, the same thing with Tierney, but persisting on playing with Kolasinac over Tierney. Tierney sitting on the bench, and he's sitting on the bench, and he's sitting on the bench. You're making things. You can see the situation is bad, but you're making it worse, and you're doing it on purpose. Like, for what reason? For what reason? So our club can slip further and further and further and further till there's a point of no return where we can't, like you guys, like we're discussing now amongst ourselves and with our subscribers. There's a point of no return. Which manager at all? I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about like a Eddie Howe. Why would even Eddie Howe even want to take over this group of players?
It's the club. The club still has the history, tradition behind it, and the appeal.
Yeah, but Ray, do you know what? That's the only thing what we're big for. We're big for our history. At the moment, the way we're playing and the way this club is in a mess at the moment, we are nowhere near a big club.
Totally agree with you. That's all the Raul is selling right now is history, prestige. We are one of the bigger clubs in London, although that's debatable right now at this point in time.
At the moment, the way Arsenal are looking at it right now, they're more interested in making millions and more pounds out of us than helping us becoming a big club again.
So is that an answer to Don Juan's question there? Would Kroenke rather Arsenal win the league, or would he rather make an extra 30 million out of Arsenal?
I think he'd rather make an extra 30 million out of us, to be quite honest.
He is a businessman.
Of course he's going to choose. Of course he's going to choose money over.
Yeah.
Over
have we
winning the
seen,
league.
Richard? Have we seen the upturn from Lundberg already?
Well, if you look at tonight's game, for instance, I'm not going to blame Freddie Ljungberg for tonight, and the reason why I'm not, because he put out the strongest lineup possible for tonight's game in terms of the injuries that we've had. Yes. Now I can understand the reason why he drops Lacazette, because Lacazette has been underperforming recently. Yes, I know he scored the goal, 2 goals against Southampton, and he scored another goal against one of the other teams as well. But we need to find a system to play both of them.
Was there any point in bringing Lacazette into the game today in the second half?
I would have brought him on in the second half. I would have done, because I think for me tonight, I think Aubameyang was poor.
Yes.
I'm not letting no players get off the hook tonight.
Aubameyang was poor.
Yeah, they all was. I can only name
against...
probably 3 players tonight that actually really did try it. Martinelli, Saka, and Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
All the others did not play. They just didn't have a care in the world. All they was worried about is getting their paycheck at the end of the week. If anything, all the players should be handing their wages to Bert Leno.
All of them. None of them are getting off tonight. Absolutely none of them.
Yeah.
Both Emery and Ljungberg flogging a dead horse. Yes, that is, to be honest with you, if you put it in short and sweet words, that is it, flogging a dead horse. Because there's no ambition from the owner, in my opinion, says Don Juan. 100% agree with you, Don Juan, because...
See, the only thing is, they're only saying what they want us to hear.
Yeah.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
But you need to shut us up.
Actions speak louder than words.
Richard, didn't they say get excited? Get excited for what? For this?
Josh.
Because, I mean, not even... you should let your actions do your actions do all the speaking for you. You know?
Yeah.
You can,
like Don Juan said, any organization, sporting or otherwise, the ownership needs to be strong and decisive. If it's not, problems will arise, and in Arsenal, there is no doubt that the Kroenkes are a major problem.
Yeah, they need to leave, the whole lot of them.
Leadership comes from the top.
I honestly think that if Usmanov got the full club, I don't think we'll be in this mess.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, because the right people would be backed. I mean, backing players to buy players, backing to get any manager that we want, because we are the Arsenal and we should still be able to do that, even in today's time. For example, like a Diego, be able to go pull a Diego Simeone right out of Atletico Madrid and say, right, you're with us. You're with us.
I believe, Richard, the problem was with Stan Kroenke from 2016, 2017 onwards. He allowed Arsene Wenger to stay in his position. We did not headhunt a good coach to take over. No succession plan. And when things got really, really bad, because every manager thinks that they can turn things around. And I'm sure Arsene Wenger felt the same way. We just need one more game. Give me just another season. I can turn it around. It never happened. And we're in this state now. We're in a mess.
But then again, if you look at it on another side, that as I mentioned, if Usmanov got the full club, I honestly think that we would never have been in this mess whatsoever, because at least he was an owner that cared about the club. At least he showed passion in what direction he wanted us to go.
He
With
had
the
a sporting,
Cronkies, all their care, with the
sporting
Cronkies, all they
interest.
care. Yeah, he was a sporting man,
Yeah.
but he was a football man. You
Yeah.
know, I know that he was a shareholder at Everton, I think he's the owner of Everton. But at least he would have been an owner that cared about us, what we was doing on the field. If he saw something that wasn't right, he would deal with it there and then. With the Cronkies, all they care about is making money out of us and putting it into the LA Rams.
Yeah.
Have you seen the financial report for the annual report? We've lost
For us.
more money than gaining.
Yeah. We went for a profit of approximately 24 million to a deficit of 93, 94 million.
Yeah.
So that's a swing of over 120, around 120.
But Ray and Richard, you know what's funny? How our club has gone from a club of legends and a club of people that basically love our club, right? To strictly business. That's all it is. Money, 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 money. Because even all that money doesn't get invested. That money goes to LA Rams, wine ranches, cowboy ranches. I mean, who does that? I mean, I was watching earlier on in the week. They were saying to Robbie, there was this guy, and he was saying if he was Simon something, he's a hammer or what a waste man.
Simon
I know this is
Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a waste man though. Like to try and insult Robbie and like literally insulting us because he was saying if he was the owner of Arsenal, if he owned Arsenal like a cronky, he'd shut the channel down. So you telling me, on a side note, you telling me fans are not supposed to have an opinion?
Fans
This is
will
the
always
reason
have an opinion, Richard.
These are the reason why we have our podcast, Richard.
Listen. The fans are the life and death of a football club. If it wasn't for us
Right.
fans, there would be no football club.
Exactly.
We are the fans that make the club money.
Yep.
But I
I'm
mean,
still going back to that.
And yet that Simon Jordan has got the decency to tell us that we have no right as a fan to voice our opinion.
they asked him how many games has he gone to. He said nothing. He said, "Oh, but I made Crystal Palace. I was one of the youngest managers." I was like, "Hey, just shut up, man! You're such a waste of time."
Simon Jordan is an ex owner for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. They fired shots at him. They said, "Yeah, is that the reason why you left Crystal Palace
It was
in
a financial loss. Yes.
something along those lines?" And I was like, "Yeah, please just get at this waste, man, and just shut people up like that." Because I mean, literally,
Do you know what it is? I think with TalkSport and all these other radio stations, I actually think that they are jealous because there is now other platforms out there where fans can voice their opinion, and no one is gonna go to them.
Yeah, and they're losing viewers in that way.
But the only thing is, TalkSport was moaning, saying to us that they was moaning at us because we wanted Emery out. Hold on a bleeding minute here. They was also saying about who's going to come in as the next manager.
Exactly. Just trying to latch on to anything, but it's absolutely this. I think it's absolutely putrid because they can't actually say anything. I know they're jealous and everything, but find a way. They're saying we are toxic. We only make channel with our only make money with our podcasts because we're so negative and so toxic, and we always want owners out, and we always want to sell players, and we're never happy. That is not the reason.
My head, you know what? That's not the reason why. The reason why is because we are the heart and we are the death of this club.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We would run hell and back to support Arsenal.
Of course.
If Arsenal got relegated and went into the Championship League, will I still be supporting Arsenal? Yeah, of course I would.
Yeah,
because I love Arsenal.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna. If I want to voice my opinion, I will voice my opinion.
Yeah,
Exactly my point.
and there's platforms out there to do that.
All because I've never been to see Arsenal live doesn't make me not a fan like anybody else that actually goes.
Correct.
True.
If we're not televised on telly, I will find a way to watch Arsenal
Of course, by any means.
A stream
before
somewhere.
kickoff.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Hey, I've got a tough question from Alex, and we touched on the January transfer window, so it's a difficult question. Which players would you personally sell?
Ray or Richard, one of you can go first while I'm compiling my
My
list.
first reaction is, why should we be selling players? We need to buy players in January. Why do our squad is stretched so thin? This is my personal reaction. I have notes here. Because of Kolasinac getting injured and Martinelli, that he played 90 minutes and was in the wars. We are going to risk further injuries. This is my note. We're going to risk further injuries because our squad is so thin. So, do we really need to sell players in January? I don't think so.
Almost immediately. So, say for example, let's take Granit Xhaka. So, say for example, he's on our list. He's on our short list. He's on top of our list, right?
He's on top of that short list.
Who are the replacements? How long is their contracts lasting, or what is their buyout? Have they got any buyout clauses? I'm looking at it in terms of being a part of the scouting, not the scouting squad, but like that management of bringing in players and selling players. So I'm Edu. Which players are available that we can replace Granit Xhaka with that are quality, that are, I'm talking that give 100% all the time, 90% at minimal, 95% all the time, right? Are they available? How much is it going to cost? Have they got a buyout clause? Can we go get him immediately? That is the question. Not this dilly-dallying. I mean, even for example, Thomas Lemar on the last day, you guys do know on deadline day, I think about a year ago, we tried to buy Thomas Lemar for about almost 100 million, and just under 100 million. I think it was 90 million.
90 million.
With the Alexis.
They made like this, like a Hitler meme or something, where he's shouting at his generals, and his generals is saying in subtitles, "Yeah, boss, we sold the Lexus, but and we wanting to get Thomas." He's like, go get Thomas Lemar, and then like, boss, he rejected us at the last minute, even though we mentioned 90, and then I mean, it's a truly funny comical clip, and that's
Ray. Do you know what? Going to Alex's question, he said, "What players would you personally sell?"
Yeah.
I don't think
I
we
reckon
should be selling.
at the minute, I don't think that our team doesn't have enough depth, and
don't.
I don't think we've got players that would roll up our sleeves and actually get tough with the opposition. We've got players that can be proper physical. So maybe in terms of if we're going to go and get a replacement for Granit Xhaka, for instance, we need to be looking at the likes of Decore or Wilfred Ndidi.
One of the two.
Because they're physical players, and they're good at attack, and they're good defensively as well. Now, in terms of our defense, I'd be looking at Upamecano. In terms of a centre back, I'd go and get him.
They're top of the league right now. RB Leipzig.
Yeah.
Who would want to come to us?
In terms of our left back position, I would actually go and get in Ricardo Rodriguez for our left back. That's the sort of player that I'm looking at the minute. In terms of our right back, that would probably. I'm thinking, is it Matt? He plays for Wolves. It's their right back that they've got. I think his name's Matt. I can't think of his last name.
Cody.
Not Matt Ritchie by any chance. It's not
Matt Doherty, the Irishman.
Yeah. I'd actually go and get him.
He's a good player.
Yeah, I'd go and get him. In terms of another right back, I'd go and get Valerie from Southampton.
We stick with the Irishman, Matt Doherty. Good
Yeah.
Irishman.
These are
But
very
there
good.
is there is another left back that I would go and get, and that would be Ben Chilwell.
Here's the problem, Richard. With all of the cash now in the Premier League, these teams don't necessarily have to sell. It's become more and more difficult, right?
Mm.
But I want to give a shout out to Sea Dogs, who left a very nice comment this morning. Sea Dogs says it's obvious the blame for all things wrong with your club is the bloody owners.
100% Sea Dogs. That's like the be all and end all. They even don't want his including because
Here's a question. Stranger Robbie will not say a word against the Cronkies. And you can explain that probably by saying the Cronkies aren't going anywhere, Richard. You know?
The only way Stan Kroenke will go out be in the coffin.
Wow.
And that's putting it bluntly.
Huge compliment. Thank you, Sea Dogs. He likes this channel better than AFTV.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sea Dogs. Go and follow Richard as well at Arsenal TV.
Yeah, Arsenal TV, Richard. Give him a subscription. You're getting close to 1,000, Richard.
Yeah, I sure am. I'm at 831.
All right, you're inching closer and closer.
So I'm 169 subscribers away.
Guys,
Don't give Richard a look.
Exactly. Drive that subscribers up through the roof, past 1,000, way past.
Sea Dogs, thanks once again. Big up Arsenal fan circle. You know, that's why we created this channel, to have a voice, to speak our opinions, and that's what's out there. If you like us, watch us. If you don't, you don't. A lot of people do like AFTV. A lot of people don't like AFT. It's your choice.
No.
Exactly.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Ray? The way I know people are saying that AFTV are toxic, but the way I look at it, they're fans just as well as us. You know, if AFTV is supposed to be for the fans, why is it there's so many regulars on there and not other people, like just normal folk like you and me?
Yeah.
No, why have they got interviewed the same people every week? You know, and they say that the channel is for the fans.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that viewpoint when people say it's toxic because then I mean, if you've got the same guys over and over, not have friendly folk on here, talk sense.
And Robbie knows the personality, so he's interviewing these people. He knows what he's gonna get out of them. To your point, Richard, he should open it up a little bit more to the regular fans. I've in previous years I've been at the Emirates and tried to be in that circle, but it's a tight circle. You can't get into it.
Mm. I can understand if there's so many fans at a game that wants to go and don't get me wrong, he's gonna be on there, like he'll be at the stadium for hours on end to interview so many fans, but.
And
going back to Don Juan's comment where he said that I'm wearing one of them. There's a reason why I got the hat, because one, I like the hat, and two, sometimes I do have to behave myself.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I think he was just telling you, Richard, a lot of celebrity wannabes on AFTV. So I don't think that was particularly toward you, but
guys, I think personally, as we grow our channels, we should. I mean, we have a lot of guests coming onto all of our channels, you know, and our podcasts, and we really do. I must say, from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of these guys with me, also my guys, Richard and Ray, we do really appreciate all the love and support. Whether it's comments, whether it's you tuning in live, whether you're watching reruns, I mean, it means the world.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Richard, did we just meet Manchester City on a good day? They played pretty well.
The only thing is, the only look, Ray. As I said earlier, I think that with Man City now on paper, before going into this game, you think, yeah, Man City looks a vulnerable side with the injuries that they've got. But with the injuries that they've got, did they really look like that they even needed them players that were injured in the first place?
Not
They've
one.
got quality players. Kevin De Bruyne, an absolute world class number 10. Well, not even a number 10. He's a centre attacking midfielder.
I would kill to have a De Bruyne. I would kill to have De Bruyne. Look, can I tell you guys something? I would kill to have Santi Cazorla back for 1 year. I mean, guys, I actually even dreamt about it the other night. I'm being dead serious. I dreamt about midfield of Torreira and Santi playing together, even for just one season. And I mean, it was wonderful to live through
You just
30
reminded
games.
me. I'm going to share this.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Mahir? Do you know what? Saying that you mentioned about Santi Cazorla, as old as he is, he's still playing. He's playing pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have kept him.
But I just think that having Santi Cazorla come into Arsenal would be too big for him. I think that he would the intensity would be just too high. As much as I would love Santi Cazorla to come back.
Yeah, in the Premier League.
I was hypothetically saying that because, I mean, this guy literally came back from not being told he can't play football ever to playing football and even being promoted, even making the national side for Spain. And it's very heartwarming. And at the same time, if you actually think about it now, the way he's playing at Villarreal, I would say he's easily better than any of our midfielders at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I think he did the right. I think he did the right thing for his career. How to bow out with his career, because in the Premier League, there's too many players that want to put one on you, like Cresswell did to Pepe last week. I don't want to see Cazorla go through that.
No.
And do you know, Ray? Do you know what? Going to that about Aaron Cresswell on that tackle on Nicolas Pepe last week.
Yeah.
How was that not a red card? I will never know.
We're still having inconsistencies with the officiating. That will continue whether we have VAR or not. And they were talking about getting booked as well for simulation of time.
Hey, Ray. Ray and Richard, don't you guys agree with me? Sometimes VAR gets it completely right and everything is top-notch and people are like, oh, VAR, wonderful. But the next moment, it will be giving a lot of very, very, very bad decisions and delaying time also. So you can't catch up on time once it's gone by. You know?
Even do you know what? Even going to the Liverpool game where Mane was caught offside. There was no way that was offside. No way.
Yes,
no way was offside.
I was so sure they were going to give them that goal, and it's beggars belief because Liverpool have had a lot of slices of luck, but that really should have stood as well.
Yeah, I just think it's the wrong people that's officiating.
Yeah.
You know, the VARs. That's what I think.
And then you have Harry Kane trying to lobby the referee for a penalty today as well.
Right, guys, I'm gonna have to make a move. I'm gonna have to go.
Richard,
but Ray, thank you for having me on as always. And Ray and Mahir, congratulations on your first year.
First year.
Thanks so much, buddy.
In the books.
And hopefully many more years to come.
Oh, lovely. Hopefully.
We'll be old men, Richard, all of us.
Yeah. Guys, and to everyone in the chat, thank you for coming in as well and supporting these two guys. It's absolutely brilliant.
Thanks, Richard. Take care.
You're welcome.
Bro, be well.
Bye. So I was Richard from Arsenal TV. If you haven't checked them out yet, check out his channel as well. Support fellow Gooners. Stan the Man is in the house. What a disaster. Kevin De Bruyne putting Ozil to shame. And Sea Dogs. I've been talking to Sea Dogs for quite a bit in the comments as well over the weeks. He's in a similar situation with his team, Scarborough Athletic. Scarborough. They're quite a few leagues down. But same situation at Arsenal. Couldn't buy a win. Got a new coach in and a 1-4 on the bounce. So happy days are coming back to Scarborough.
Wow, fantastic.
They won 4 in a row and scored as many goals in 4 games as we had in our last 17 with the same players. So we can only hope the same thing happens with
Us.
Arsenal,
Yeah.
in the Northern Premier League.
Premier League. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's a knock-on effect, you see. It's a knock-on effect of having an actual. I mean, even like for example, with the Ferguson thing at Everton. I mean, it's an uplift. It's a big uplift to get an actual manager, for example. It just so happened that day one is a former player, but we can't afford to be making that mistake right now because we've got a lot of work to be done. It's seeming like an almost impossible job. Top four. I mean, a lot of people are calling it quits already, saying top four is not possible.
Yeah. Not possible.
At all. At all. At all. Unless dramatic change. Ancelotti, call who you want to call, but needs to be done.
Can I just say one thing
it needs to be done
to everybody watching?
Tomorrow.
Everybody watching on playback, all of our subscribers, and hopefully if you share this with a friend, the first thing we must do as Arsenal fans, if we wanted this coach or manager, whoever it may be when they come in, if we wanted them or if we didn't want them, we have to keep that to ourselves and just support the whatever is happening. We have to get behind the coach and the players. We can all see there's a hell of a lot of work to be done at Arsenal. And I don't think there's a lot more to be said here, we were playing Manchester City today. Chelsea lost yesterday. Manchester United drew.
United lost. Oh, sorry.
Don Juan has a couple of questions. Lads, can you see Arsenal doing? What can you see Arsenal doing at Everton next week? I'm really, don't think we can get a win at all. I think we will lose that game. Then after that, we go to Bournemouth away from home, where I think we can win that game here. So I think we lose to Everton, we win at Bournemouth. Then over the New Year, we have 2 huge games: Chelsea at home and Manchester United on New Year's Day.
How did Man United manage to beat? With all the fun that we make of them and as much as we hate them, how did they manage to beat them?
They played a very, very good pressing and counter-attacking game. They got a penalty through their pressing and attacking play. They had the bravery to go forward and attack Manchester City because it's a derby as well. And Don Juan says, agree, support the manager. Do you believe something will happen between now and Saturday? We get a new coach in. Richard seems to believe there's something afoot and something going to happen.
I would like to hope so. I would like to pray that there is a new manager in mind and a top manager. Not any of these. I know, like you just said now, we're supposed to back, and our subscribers understand as well, we're supposed to back whoever comes in. But it's not going to help if it's going to be like a national manager or a former player. It's not going to help the situation we're currently in right now. Like
you're really rolling. You're really going to roll the dice if it's Arteta.
Aside from a top,
it could be something great, or it could be something really bad. And I don't think we're in a position.
I don't have. With the problems that we're having, aside from having to choose a manager or get a manager and the board delaying with making all these problems bigger, I do not trust any former player to come in. And even Lundberg, like we're saying, if you can separate player from manager, but if you ask me personally, I mean, even Richard said earlier, We need a top manager. We can't be ruining anybody's legacy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. We shall see what happens. Like I said, Chelsea lost. We're still 7 points back of top four. Uh, dare I say it's manageable, a manageable distance to top four at 7 points. We're not out of it yet. If we
If
go
we
to
put,
nine, we go to 9 or 12 points, 9 or 10 points, I would say we're out of top four. This is me being eternally optimistic. Which manager would you guys bring in? I would now. I had championed Rafa Benitez, Don. Wanted Rafa Benitez, but apparently he ruled himself out of it. Um, now I want Nuno Espirito Sanchez. Santos, right?
yeah,
I better be able to pronounce his name if he's going to be the coach that I want.
yeah, yeah. Otherwise, people will think you're missing somebody else there with that last name.
I'm a little bit leery about Pochettino.
Look, I would even take Pochettino. Maybe he's got a point to prove. It would be really extremely on the most extreme level of craziness if he can help us push to get back, or even push and get the backing and prove everybody wrong. Like, if you asked me in the beginning, I would say no. Why would we take somebody that's failed at our rivals? What's he gonna do by us with our defense and all that? But
Listen,
if you ask me right now, after rationally thinking about it, I would take Pochettino.
is that your
Not my
pick?
first, but I would take Allegri,
You take
and
Allegri first.
close behind would be Ancelotti and Pochettino.
So, getting some very, very nice comments from Sea Dogs recently, and this reminds me of something he said recently. Nobody's in hospital, nobody's hurt. It's just a football game. So don't let it get you down. Keep things in perspective. That is the most important thing. Um, thanks, Sea Dogs, for that.
He does
Most
much.
important is family and friends. Arsenal will be there long after we're gone, probably. It has, unless the Cronkies run it into administration.
Yeah, let's get the source of eternal life. And they just stay
I
alive.
don't think that will happen. Arsenal will be there long after we're gone. It was there before we came along.
Yeah.
Um, we've been in the top flight division forever since 1913, since our predecessors arranged
Inception.
us to get into the first division, and we'll be there. So Don Juan's personal choice is Poch. Thanks for staying with us, Don. 3
Thank you,
podcasts
John.
today. You're spoiled for our content, and hopefully we will do something midweek as well.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to Everton game. I'd say that with a little bit of dread in my voice. Looking forward to Everton game. Wow. Uh, Absolutely horrible performance from Arsenal. Roninator, thanks for coming in, Roninator. If you're new around here and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. And if you like the content, consider smashing the like button. I don't beg for it, but if you want to do that, that's great.
Yeah, join the family. Join the Arsenal fan circle family with the host and yours truly as well, the co-host. And I mean, yeah, like I said, we always start off the end of the show on a positive note, and
Mhm.
let's just try and enjoy our week. Try not let anybody get on our case. If they do get on our case, just play the fool. Just play the fool. Just ignore. It's not worth it. I was reading just this morning, or I think I read last week. Somebody said to me, "You become a very dangerous person when you learn to control your emotions," and that's 100% true. Why, if somebody's angry and swearing at you, if it's your manager, your boss, your wife, a lot of the people in your life, right?
Yeah.
Why make it worse by shouting back and fighting back rather than staying calm, staying peaceful, and literally talking to the person, calming them down, like saying, yes, it's okay, I understand where you're coming from,
Yeah.
and literally find a peaceful solution. And guess, just like that, the head of the snake is off, and there's no stress at all. Even the other person's like, wow, thank you so much. You know, if it's your wife, she'll kiss you all over. She'll show you so much love, you know?
Our time will come. Things come in cycles, my here. We've had success in the past, and this great club will have success in the future. We just have to make a decision, probably this week, in appointing a coach that will set things in motion that can bring things back around.
Oh my, yeah. You know, we'd love to see the old Arsenal back, you know, the
Yeah,
one where everyone's afraid of. But we
yeah.
love ending the show on a positive note. And yeah, guys, what else can we say? You know, it's been a fantastic 1 hour and 10 minutes and 50 seconds currently. And I mean, Sea Dogs, Chelsea, London Old School, Richard from Arsenal Fan TV. Absolutely everybody, man. I mean, without you guys, also, it would just be two Arsenal fans talking to each other on camera.
Don won. He's going to get smashed by those City fans, but stay strong, Don.
Yeah, stay
Strong.
strong. It's just banter, man. Like we're saying,
Fly the
football's
flag.
football.
Fly the flag. Good luck,
See,
Sea
dogs.
Dog. Always keep an eye out for Scarborough now, and hopefully on the way up. I
Yeah,
hope Arsenal's not too far behind.
all the way up.
Until next time, my friends, this has been the 13th episode. Manchester City 3, Arsenal 0. Arsenal Football Club, you know what you need to do. Let's get things moving. And Freddie is a good second. Keep Freddie under the wing of the club, and we can move forward. One quick thing, always like to address questions. London Old School, what manager would want to come to Arsenal at the moment with the board and spineless players? And I think that's a rhetorical question that we addressed already. Peace out, London Old School. Until next time. Hopefully the things will become more clear during the week, and we can get on the road to turning this club around and getting up the table. Take care for now, everybody. Be safe. Enjoy the holiday, and next weekend we will continue the 1 year anniversary celebration of this channel. I appreciate everybody who's involved, all of you in the comments, everyone who's guested, all of the content that Mahir and I try to bring, and everybody who's come on the show. You're all an integral part of the channel, and if any of you ever want to be a part of, come on the show, guest, get on Twitter at Arsenal Circle, DM me, let me know. Go to Gundam News on Facebook. Tell Mahir you want to get on the show. We'll make it happen.
Please do that, guys.
Peace out. Come on, you Gooners. We go another week. Up the Arsenal.